It is ATL Day Ones with Jarvis and Tenitra. Final segment, man. I'm gonna miss y'all when we leave when the show is over with. But hey, we're gonna enjoy it while we have it because this is the For the Culture segment. It is an intersection between sports, entertainment, and the culture, and sometimes whatever the hell we want to talk about. But before we get into what we're gonna talk about today, we got Greg Olsen. Greg Olsen is up the bat today. Yeah,
Yeah.
well, like how I did that baseball reference. Want to say, make sure you go to our YouTube,
Hmm.
Locked On Sports Atlanta. Hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate you guys have gotten us to 1,300 followers,
Hey.
subscribers, all of that, all of the above. We appreciate you for that. Go check us out on those pages and make sure you hit that subscribe button. And don't
Yes.
forget to always, always, always leave us a 5-star review. If you don't, I am going to be concerned about your mental makeup as a person. All right, now, Greg Olsen. We know that he was one of those guys that kind of came on in a Tony Romo-ish type way. A lot of
Hmm.
people like how he gets down with the color commentary. So we find out that he will be calling the Super Bowl this year with Kevin Burkhardt,
Yes.
and that's not too big of a deal. Some people might say, okay, getting the opportunity a little bit too
Right.
soon. However, there's a caveat to this thing.
Hmm.
They hired Fox Sports hired Tom Brady. The big old contract, and they said that whenever Tom Brady retires, he's going to immediately be Kevin Burkhardt's future partner. So if I'm Greg Olsen, I'm like, okay, I know I'm going to call my first Super Bowl, but dang, I'm going to get demoted as soon as Tom decides whenever he's going to finish playing. Like, what's up with
Right.
that?
Exactly. Yes. Greg Olson, you are the side piece. So Tom
Like
Brady's the wife.
really, like,
Yeah. So
like
if wifey's
blatantly,
right
like,
here, when
hey,
wifey's
side
ready,
piece, meet my
yeah,
main chick. What's
exactly.
going on?
There you go.
Main
So
woman, side chick. How
there
y'all
you go.
doing?
So when wifey comes through, go ahead and
Yeah,
be prepared to take the
that's
seats.
so tough.
Have
Oh,
several
that's
seats.
tough.
And I can say I love Greg Olson in this role because when he first started doing this show on it's Valley Sports South now, of course, but it used to be Fox Sports South. And there was a show that came on about 6 to 8 weeks ahead of the NFL draft for about 2 or 3 seasons. It was him, Takeo Spikes, and a couple other guys, right?
Right.
And they would bring in different recruits or I'm sorry, different NFL draft prospects. And those individuals would kind of walk through everything from like some fun Q&A to some X's and O type breakdown, if you will. And it was really cool. I got a chance to sit in on it a couple times, and he was the standout by far. He
Right.
was the standout just in terms of his ability to break it down simply and to make it very understandable and palatable for the average person to hear. That's also actually where I met Sammy Watkins, oddly enough. So between listening to and he was breaking stuff down with Sammy, and that was just cool. I think he is built for it. I do think
Right.
he's built for it.
Yeah.
There are some who, like you said, may say, "Wow, so soon." But if you've ever heard Greg Olson talk football, it's not too soon at all, especially when you think about some other individuals who have been catapulted from or transitioned from player to media personality. And it's like, yeah, no, that's not working for you.
I'll go ahead and say it for you, T. Drew Brees.
Yeah, bless his
Nah,
heart.
brother,
But you
it
know
might
what?
not be your calling.
But
Yeah.
you right, you might not be gifted in that area. But you
Yeah,
know
put some
what?
work in. Put some work
Right
in. Yeah,
there,
yeah, yeah.
you
There
just
you
said
go.
it
Yeah,
because
put
a
the work
lot
in.
of
Yeah.
people loved Coach Tony Dungy's content in the beginning of his stint with NBC, but they didn't necessarily like his delivery because
Right.
you had rah rah Rodney Harrison juxtaposed to
Lord.
him, and it wasn't quite working. But
Right.
right around that second season of seeing him, that third season, energy level started to be a little bit different. He learned how to play off Rodney, but most importantly, Rodney learned how to play off of him,
Him.
and
Yes.
the content and the delivery came together. And I think now most people enjoy Coach Dungy as one of the analysts on anchoring the NBC Sunday night in football broadcast. So I
Right.
do feel like there are certain individuals, to your point, if Drew Brees decides that he wants to come back, it may just be a matter of him getting comfortable, kind of finding his media personality voice and transitioning out of his quarterback signal caller voice that
Right.
might show us a different person. And even, you look at someone like Tony Romo, who has learned to take all of that information. Sometimes he was giving people too much info.
Right.
And
Yeah.
it was just too much to kind of palate. And now he's kind of scaling that back and understanding, giving us keep giving us that Tony Romo personality, but you might want to scale some of that content back because most people listening to you are not signal callers or formal signal callers.
Yeah.
They just want to understand the game just a little bit better.
Yeah, you don't want to talk over people's heads, sometimes Tony went a little bit too far with it. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, going a little bit too deep. I'll
Mhm.
nerd out on it, and I'm like, oh man,
Yeah,
that makes
right.
all the
It
sense
was
in the
amazing
world.
to
Let's
me when I
go, keep
understood.
coming
Like,
with it. But
yeah,
somebody just sitting there just want to enjoy the game and just want at least have a good understanding of what's going
yeah,
on. It might be a little bit too much for him. So,
yeah.
but yeah, I think Greg Olsen will do fine.
Mhm.
It just didn't sit right with me. Like, dang, so Tom can retire in the middle of the season and come take my
Right,
spot. Like, come
right,
on, bro. Like, what are we doing? Then
right,
Kevin Burkhardt, the play-by-play guys, they never get moved around.
right,
It's just always, like who's the next guy when it
right.
comes to those analyst positions. Unless there's only a couple of guys that are able to just stick around like that. And
Mhm.
man, good for Greg Olsen to be able to get this
Good for Greg.
opportunity this early on.
Absolutely, absolutely. And you know what? Tom Brady may retire mid-season or early and unseat Greg Olsen, but nobody is unseating Jarvis Davis and Tenitra Batiste on day ones. And nobody is unseating our boy John Chuckery on hitting hard. So check us out first. And when you finish checking us out, why not go and check out John Chuckery? Because Chuck, oh my goodness, if you think we dug into the petty on this college football situation with Saban, Fisher, and Sanders, you got to hear what our boy says. So, on behalf of JD and even our boy Chuckery and our boy Mark Zeno, thank you guys for always checking out Locked On Sports Atlanta and especially for loving on ATL Day Ones. And if you love us that much, go tell a friend and then come back on Monday. Have a great weekend.
Y'all come back now, you hear?